The Time Thief. In the town of Tempora, nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, there stood a peculiar clock tower that governed not only the passage of time, but the very rhythm of life itself. Known as the Clock of Celestial Harmony, this masterpiece of engineering was said to be as old as the stars. Its gears, carefully crafted by generations of clocksmiths, were in perfect sync with the heavens, guiding the cycles of day and night, the seasons, and the flow of time itself. Alice, the town's solitary clocksmith, was the keeper of the timeless legacy. Her hands steady and precise, she worked in small workshop beneath the shadow of the great tower, ensuring that the intricate cogs and wheels of the clock continued to turn in harmony with the celestial movements above. Alice, the clock was more than just a machine. It was a living entity, a reflection of the cosmos itself. Each tick, each tock, was a note in the grand symphony of existence. But maintaining the clock was no simple task. The celestial bodies, planets, stars, and moons, danced in a cosmic ballet, their movements ever changing, their cycles unpredictable. Alice had spent years studying their patterns, learning the subtle art of timekeeping that required not only mechanical skill, but a deep understanding of the natural world. The clock tower, with its winding gears, chiming bells, was her lifeblood. If the clock ever fell out of sync with the heavens, Tempora itself would be thrown into disarray. One fateful evening, as Alice adjusted the intricate brass gears of the tower's main mechanism, she noticed something unsettling. A subtle disturbance in the gears, a faint tremor in the air, as if time itself was being tugged in a new direction. She frowned and glanced at the stars through the window. Something was amiss. The stars were shifting in ways never had before. It was then the shadow stirred. From the depth of the old clock tower, a figure emerged. It was a man, or something that resembled one, his form a patchwork of time and shadows. He was the time thief, a being who had existed outside of time for as long as anyone could remember, and he had come to steal what must precious to Alice and to the town. "You, Alice," he sneered, his voice a sound of old clocks winding down. "You hold the key to time itself, but it is time that I seek. Time is a currency, and I will steal it from you one moment at a time." Alice's heart raced, afraid. She held her ground. "You cannot steal time," she said, her voice steady. "Time is not something can be taken. It must be lived, experienced, and kept in balance." The time thief smiled darkly. "You think you understand time, but you only know the clock. I have found a way to speed up time, to unravel it from its rightful place. Once I steal enough moments, I will become the master of all time. The celestial bodies will fall out of alignment, the tides will wash away cities, and I will reign over the chaos that ensues." Alice felt the weight of his words. If the time thief succeeded in accelerating time, the clock tower would cease to function. The celestial bodies would drift into disarray, and Tempora itself would lose its anchor to reality. Everything would spiral into madness. But Alice had no intention of letting this happen. She had trained for this moment her entire life. The clock was not just a machine. It was a conduit between the natural and the supernatural, a bridge between the mortal realm and the cosmos. If the time thief sought to steal time, she would have to stop him at any cost. With a swift motion, she grabbed her tools, the delicate brass keys, the fine-tuned wrenches, and the specialty crafted gears she had designed for emergencies like this. She would have to reset the clock, realign the gears and the stars, and prevent the time thief from bending the fabric of time to his will. The time thief laughed as he advanced, his hands reaching for the heart of the clock. You think your tools can stop me? Time is an illusion. I can take as much as I please. Alice's eyes narrowed. Her focus sharpened. She knew this battle would not be won without tools alone. It was a battle of wills, of understanding of flow of time, of knowing the rhythm of the universe. Alice could feel the clock's pulse under her fingers, the gentle beat of the world's heart. With a final decisive motion, she inserted a key into the clock's central mechanism, and in that the moment the clock tower roared to life. The gears shifted. The hands of the clock began to spin backwards, and the very fabric of time began to twist and contract. The time thief staggered as the clock's power surged. What have you done? He screamed, his form flickering in and out of existence as the flow of time fought against him. I've reconnected the clock to its natural rhythm, Alice replied, her voice calm. And now you will be undone. The clock's hands spun faster, and the stars above realigned in their rightful places. The time thief writhed, his form unraveled as he was pulled back into the void from where he came. And in the end, Alice had preserved the balance. The clock tower continued to tick, its gears turning in perfect harmony with the celestial bodies above. Time was safe once more, and the town of Tempora remained in its steady, rhythmic flow. But Alice knew that the time thief would return, for time was ever changing, and the battle to keep it in harmony was never truly over. With a quiet resolve, she returned to her workshop, ready for whatever came next, knowing that as long as she stood guard over the clock, the town would remain tethered to the cosmos.